I'm here today with Jaren Whittington. He's one of my top agents here with Equity Real Estate. Jaren, thanks for joining us.
Happy to be here, Eric. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. So we got just a couple questions for you about your business.
Absolutely.
All right. And I've got my cheat sheet with notes down here, so I'll glance down and read off of those. And you haven't been groomed for any of this. We're all shooting from the hip. And it's one of the things that I like. I like being real. You know, there's too much, I don't know if we call it spit shine with an emphasis on the spit, especially with our history with COVID. Nobody likes that stuff.
Right.
I like the reality, you know?
Yeah.
And so just from your heart, shooting from the hip, tell me what it is that led you to become a real estate agent and how did you get your start in this business?
A long time ago, when I was a kid,
Okay.
all growing up, my dad was into real estate. He wasn't a realtor until I was a teenager, but even as a younger kid, we moved from house to house, town to town, and every house that we moved to, he had us help fix it up.
Okay.
So I grew up knowing how to do all sorts of crazy stuff to houses. And so that was really fun.
So he's taking advantage of some of the tax benefits where you can buy a house and then sell it and have a certain amount of capital gains before you're
Absolutely.
roll that forward.
Yeah.
I did that for a while.
Yeah, it's a good model.
Yeah.
And we would live there for a couple years, so you
Yeah.
avoid that capital gains tax.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. But yeah, there were tons of houses we lived in throughout the West that he would fix up. And then when we moved to Utah, he got involved with a really neat company that was doing wholesaling, one of the early ones.
Okay.
And he got me involved with that program, and I tried to do it, although I was only 17. So,
Yeah.
as a 17-year-old, I kind of lost motivation pretty easy,
Right.
especially when there were girls and dating on the other side.
You got your priorities right.
I
at that
did
time.
at 17-year-old. Yeah, I did all right. So, so that's what gave me a really strong interest in real estate, was just growing up with my dad and his big background in that. And then as an adult, I started going to college, and I'll be honest, I hated it.
Oh yeah.
I could not stand the classroom structure. It didn't jive with me very well. I still powered through, and I got close to my associates, but I was like, I'm really not enjoying this, and I wasn't happy. And so I started looking at alternatives.
So did you not even finish your degree?
Nope.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
just so you know, I tell my own kids this, and I get a little bit in trouble with my ex, but you don't have to have a college degree to be successful. You really don't. You do
100%
have
agree.
to have some great work ethic, though.
You do.
So sorry, I interrupted your story.
No. That's completely applicable.
Yeah.
And it's very true, especially in my case. So anyway, I got to the point where I'm like, hey, this is not bringing me any joy, and I need something that's going to make me happy and give me job satisfaction. So I started working at America First, and America First Credit Union's a great company to work for. I really enjoyed it. They don't pay very well, but their benefits are great.
Yeah.
Anyway, I worked for them for a few years, got my mortgage certification with America First, started doing mortgages, and started working with realtors while being a mortgage officer for America First, and realized that, hey, the realtors are making a whole lot more than me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, I've got a lot of background here. I'm going to jump back into real estate.
So that was your impetus for getting into the business officially.
Right, officially.
And now that you're in the business, you do a really good business. So what is it that you do that you feel like differentiates you from the competition? There's over 20,000 licensed agents now in Utah. I know that's small compared to some of the other states out there.
It's still a lot.
But it's still a lot. And at one point last year, we had more licensed agents than we had listings on the market for sale.
Yes, we did.
So what is it that you do that separates you from the competition, sets you apart?
So I was setting up for that question because I think I knew it was coming. But
Okay.
So like I told you, growing up with my dad, we fixed every house we lived in, and he had us help. We were always hauling rocks to do a fireplace in one of our houses, and we laid a flagstone floor, and we did laminate and tile and paint and all sorts of stuff like that, and we were involved. It was really fun. So now in my business, what I'll do is I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty for my clients.
Okay.
So I'll hop in, and simple stuff, cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
I'll hop in, I'll paint for them, I'll fix a little thing here, I'll do this or that. Anything that requires a license, of course, I'll hire out. But if there's something simple, I'm not afraid to do it.
That's
And,
cool.
and I'm there for my client. I will come and help them clean their house. I will go and do yard work for them. I get my hands dirty.
And that is not normal. You know, so for our listeners, if you're thinking, well, I don't know how to do that stuff. I grew up with a dad that wasn't handy. He didn't teach me any of that stuff. That is not normal. So it definitely sets you apart from the competition. So yeah, that's amazing that you're willing to go above and beyond to that extent.
Yeah.